And we welcome you back to the Charleston RiverDogs Insider Podcast. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Brendan Summerhill, first-round selection in the 2025 draft. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so this is a great time to talk to you because just about a year ago you were selected by the Rays. You made your pro debut, a couple weeks from a year from now. How would you sum everything up so far? How does it feel now, a year in as being a professional baseball player?
It's been surreal, honestly. Learned a lot in the last year, I think. You know, you don't really have any expectation coming into pro ball. It's kind of like a clean slate, new journey, and it's been great. I've learned a lot, met a lot of good guys, and, you know, it's been fun.
Absolutely, and it's a grind, right? I know you played college ball and so forth, and that's a hefty schedule too. But you guys are here 6 days a week. You have that Monday off day. Sometimes we're traveling back from Maryland or Virginia, whatever it might be. What's that adjustment been like from, I'm sure, not just a physical standpoint, but the mental side of things too?
Yeah, like, I think the biggest adjustment with that has been, like, you know, trying to be myself every single day when in college it was, you know, 4 times a week. But, you know, the travel's fun because you get to come together as a group. You get to, you know, meet some new guys and, you know, actually bond over, you know, outside of just baseball. So that's been fun. And yeah, but just showing up every day, it's honestly, I like it better just because, you know, it's now our job and we get to do it every day.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. We were in Delmarva, for those who didn't tune in. It was like 100 degrees every single day, 4th of July. You guys had just driven, 11, 12 hours up from Charleston as well. I mean, what is that like where, I don't want to say it's show and go, but it kind of feels like that when you're on the bus the whole night and then you have to play in 100-degree weather the next day.
Yeah, and I think, like, the weather in Delmarva, they're like, probably don't want to be outside longer than 20 minutes right now. And, you know, I think we just kind of embraced it because, you know, everybody's kind of going through that at the same time, like the other team too. So you just kind of have to find a way to get over it a little bit and, you know, go play 9 innings. Yeah,
and so you were drafted out of the University of Arizona. Before we get to that, let's go back to the start. You grew up in the Chicago, Illinois area. You were just telling us you grew up a couple miles away from Wrigley Field. What a beautiful place to grow up if you're a baseball fan. I mean, what was it like getting to go to Wrigley all the time?
Unbelievable. I mean, my earliest memories were walking to and from Cubs games, and, you know, even, you know, last summer before the draft, like, walk to and from a Cubs game with my family. So, you know, it's pretty fun growing up there, and, you know, the Cubs and Wrigley Field's really special. It's a pretty cool park. So, yeah, man. I mean, Chicago, Illinois is a beautiful city.
Yeah. Is that like a moment you think about or envision at all, like stepping into the batter's box of Wrigley, seeing the ivy and so forth? Have you seen it from that perspective? I know sometimes there's showcases out there.
Yeah, no. Like, so actually, our high school conference championship is at Wrigley, and I never got to play in it. And they played in it this past year. And
your high school did?
Yeah, and my high school coach is here right now, and he told me that just, like, how special they all thought it was. And, you know, from my perspective, a little jealous, but good for them to, you know, get there and do that. But yeah.
Yeah, 2016 was obviously the big year too. Broke the curse. You said you were 13 years old when that happened. I mean, just walk us through. Like, were you watching at home with family? Like, what was your experience in Game 7?
So I was getting back from hockey practice.
Okay.
And I think it was the 7th inning, kind of when I got back. So Rajai Davis was about to tie the game up, and then into the rain delay. And, you know, I open Instagram now, and the 2016 Cubs reunion is this weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of funny how it's, you know, full circle right now. But it was just really, like, cool to watch as a fan, and, you know, just as a kid, it made me love the game a little more.
Yeah, is there any players on the team that you kind of based yourself off of or anything? Like, I'm trying to think, like Jason Hayward was out there. I'm trying to think of who else might have been.
I mean, I loved Rizzo. Like,
yeah.
Rizzo was my favorite. Rizzo and Baez were my two. Just, like, how Javi plays the game, and, you know, Rizzo's the fan favorite and super positive guy. So those are my two favorite.
Yeah, and I want to ask you a little bit more about hockey. I didn't know you played hockey growing up. I feel like that kind of overlaps with your style of playing baseball. When it comes to, like, whether RiverDogs are up by 10, down by 10, you're hustling up the line no matter what and so forth. You're running into walls no matter what the score is and so forth. Is that something that you kind of developed as a hockey player that you bring into your baseball game?
I'd say my competitive nature came from hockey a little bit, but more from my older brother. I was a goalie in hockey, so it's not like I wasn't grinding in the corners and battling for the puck. But it's definitely the same mentality where it's like, kind of shut the scoreboard off and you just got to go play.
Yeah, for sure. If you were caught, I feel like goalie and catcher kind of can overlap a little bit. Did you catch it all growing up?
I did. I was a catcher until I was 16. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So what made the decision to transfer into outfielder?
I was like 6'3", 170 pounds.
Yeah.
So they were just like,
hey, Brody Donay's 6'5".
Yeah, but it was just like the athleticism. My knees would always hurt.
Yeah.
They just didn't want me back there anymore.
And you mentioned your brother a little bit. He grew up playing baseball too. Played in the Angels organization a little bit in the American Association now. He's older than you, right? So what was it like growing up kind of in a baseball family? Was there a competitive relationship between you guys? More like supportive, big brother, little brother? What was that like?
I think now it's more of like a support relationship, but growing up, I mean, for as long as I can remember, it was always super competitive. I was always trying to compete with his friends because they were older and I'm younger, and that was just kind of the way it had to be. So I was losing a lot as a kid, but I think it instilled a very competitive and tough nature in me to not really get intimidated.
Yeah. Did he play hockey too?
He did.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go. You guys are like lined up perfectly.
Exactly.
So do you guys stay in touch? Do you guys talk about, like your seasons and everything,
Yeah.
at-bats or anything like that?
All the time, and I just was able to see him over All-Star break, which was super nice. But I think like if you asked both of us if we didn't play baseball, what we would be doing, I think we would both say play hockey.
Yeah.
Just because like, we go to Blackhawks games all the time, and it's me and him have a really special relationship.
That's cool. And you guys got to play on the same team in the Northwoods League, went to different colleges, but reunite there in the summertime. What was that like?
Super cool. Probably a little different than
Yeah.
what I expected it to be, because, being teammates with your older brother, it's like, how do you look at him as a teammate or a brother? It was a little weird at first, but it was super fun. It was a great summer, and we had a good time.
And he was a catcher, right?
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
There you go. So you guys are like up the middle.
Exactly.
Good athletes and so forth.
Exactly.
What's your favorite baseball memory with your brother? Is there a moment in a game, moment in the backyard playing wiffle ball, anything like that?
I remember, one of my earliest memories, I think I was 6 years old and he was 8.
Okay.
And they had a player down and I had to play for his team.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they were playing against the team who probably 4 or 5 guys on that team ended up becoming really good friends with him later in life. So that was kind of fun, and I think I struck out, but I also got a hit. So it was a good time, that one.
Yeah, totally. And seeing yourself play against upper level competition and
Exactly.
so forth. Yeah, Cooper Fleming was telling me he played his first baseball game at like 1 year old or something
Yeah.
like that because of the same situation and so forth. You got to play in the Northwoods League. You also got to play in the Cape Cod League, which is the gem of summer collegiate baseball. You and I have talked about that a lot. For those who aren't familiar, I mean, what is it like? It's so special out there. I think it's just the most pure form of baseball.
It's almost like a fever dream because, again, something you have really little to no expectation for when you go up there. You have no idea what it's going to look like or what to expect, except, the competition. You're going to be playing against really good players every day. But it's beautiful up there. The atmosphere, the environment. I mean, the fields, they're not the nicest, but I think that's kind of the whole thing about the Cape is, it's the best college players on high school and middle school fields. And, it was a great summer. Met a lot of really good guys up there, and that we still keep in touch. So
Yeah, and I'm sure you play against a lot of these guys,
Oh,
too.
yeah, all the time.
It's funny for me because the last couple of drafts, I just see names get selected. And I'm like, oh, why do I know that name? And it's like, oh, he was in the Cape League, of course, and so forth. Did you know the Cape League was that big when you were, joining what was it? Were you with Wareham?
Yeah, Wareham. So I knew, obviously it was a big deal. I'd seen a bunch of the older guys from U of A go play there, and I didn't realize what it could do for me though. A good summer up there can really, set you up well. And I was blessed enough, to have a good summer, and I think it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit to see wow, I can do this, and and it was so fun. So it wasn't like I felt the pressure, I felt stressed or nervous or anxious. It was just wake up and go play.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like it's a league that's kind of more advantageous for pitchers just because you have the transition to the wood bats and so forth from the metal bat seasons, especially early on in those summers. What was that like? I'm sure in the Northwoods League you use the wood bat, obviously, but you combine the wood bat and the best pitchers in the country too.
Yeah, it's, you know, you get to mid-July, you're like, man, I miss my metal bat. But, you know, it's how the game goes, you know. If you want to play in pro ball, like, that's got to use a wood bat. So, you know, you just embrace it and, you know, you learn how to do it.
Yeah. Did you see that Bryce Harper quote about using metal bats in the home run derby?
Oh, yeah.
Are we game for that?
I mean,
it might kill someone.
I don't think the home run derby would ever end if big leaguers were using metal bats.
Do you think your swing would work well on a derby? I feel like a lot of times it's more about the swing more so than actual.
I think I'd have to, you know, train for it a day or two to just, you know, really stress the launch angle and hit the ball to the pull side, but I think I'd be fine.
Yeah, well, something I love about your swing is it's so multifaceted. With 2 strikes, you can chip a ball down and away to left, you can pull the ball with authority and so forth. How does that play to your advantage? Is that something new, or you've kind of hit with that approach your whole career?
It's kind of just, just be an athlete in the batter's box. Like, you don't want to be so focused on one move, and if you don't make the perfect move, like, you're not going to take a good swing, and I don't believe in that. I don't buy into that because, just you got to be an athlete. Like, you don't know what he's going to throw, and you're set on one thing, but he throws something else. You got to be adjustable, and that's what I try to do, be able to move my body in different ways. And
yeah, what was your experience like at the University of Arizona? Obviously, a great baseball program. You guys were in the College World Series a year ago. What was that experience like for you?
Unbelievable. I mean, I'd say I definitely met, you know, probably 5 of my best friends there, and that I'll talk to the rest of my life. And, you know, Tucson's a really special place and full of special people. And, I mean, I could go on and on about the U of A, how much I loved it and how much I loved playing for the coaches there and, you know, representing just the U of A. But yeah, like, anybody that gets an opportunity to play there it's really special.
When you were in high school, was that like a dream school of yours? Like, what was the recruiting process like for you?
So I was committed to Kentucky originally during COVID, and nothing really happened. I just think I owed it to myself to give myself a legit shot to get recruited, because COVID was, you know, you're on Zoom calls and you're getting a tour of facilities on like video and stuff, and so I think I just owed it to myself, and I think it was just like a perfect fit where U of A gave me, you know, an opportunity to play early, but like they wanted me. They didn't want, you know, like, just, you know, another guy to fill the recruiting class, and I think that was special, and they really care about their players, like, as people and not as what they can do for the school on the field. So I wouldn't say it was my dream school, but it probably should have been.
Yeah, for sure, especially in hindsight, right? And that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I think, too, when you're in a minor league baseball environment, we mentioned the travel and so forth. You're so far away from home. How important was it for you to get away from home and experience being in a completely new region? Then we mentioned, too, going to Massachusetts for that summer as well. How has that benefited you in what's a long season where you're so far away from your family and your friends and so forth?
Big time. I think my first 2 months there was a really, like, I wouldn't call it a rough adjustment, but my world was flipped upside down. Like, I didn't know, like, what I was getting myself into yet, and but that's where it's just like, you know, you surround yourself with the right people, and you have people that care about you, and you have, you know, the right foundation set in place, that, you know, it's kind of at that point, like, you know, 18 years old, like that, it's time to do it.
Absolutely. Well, once again, Brendan Summerhill. Brendan, keep swinging it well, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Max.